Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Choices Finding Your Joy with Paula Vail. And I am sharing with you today just an amazing young woman. We have with us today Erin O'Brien, and she is the CEO and editor-in-chief of the award-winning 71 magazine and parent media firm, 71 Publications. She has 13 years of experience in media and publishing, beginning as a freelance writer, editor in 2006, and ultimately leading editorial teams of up to 7 publications simultaneously. She's also a university instructor in arts and communications, helping adult students from all uh, disciplines to build valuable, transferable skill sets. I love it. And you do so much more. My gosh, Erin, you are absolutely awesome, honey.
Well, thank you so much, Paula.
Welcome. I'm honored to have you on the show. And I would love for you to share even a bit more about your background and what brought you to where you're at today.
Well, like you just said in that lovely introduction, I've been at this in media since 2006. My original goal was always to become a magazine editor, which I did pretty quickly. But I guess for getting where I am now with 71, that was sort of an interesting journey as well. Really, I guess you could say that started in about 2014. At the time, I was working at a publishing firm. It was the one that you mentioned a second ago where there were 7 publications. So I was leading the editorial department for all 7 of these things, and it was crazy. I mean, I don't know that I'm over it yet. It was really insane. And it was really, really great experience. But at the time, unfortunately, the environment there was really toxic. So it was really not a positive place. And as much as I love the work, I love working with creativity and magazines and everything, I just was not happy. I was not in a good place. And so I decided that I wanted to make a change. Not just for me professionally, but also for me personally, to be in a better place and state of mind. And so I went back to school. I currently call it grad school round 1 because I'm into my 2nd master's right now, but it was an MA in communication. So I went back to the school environment, had a lot of fun. And interestingly enough, my intention at the time was to change career fields. So I was planning to say goodbye to media entirely and to go into academics and to teach college courses. And I think that was in part a response to just being overworked, really, really fast approaching burnout. And I was just done with all of it at the time. So I did that and I really enjoyed it. It was great. I loved the coursework. Flash forward to spring 2017. That's my last semester in that program. And at this point, I'd done all my coursework. I'd taken my comprehensive exams. And the only thing left was my thesis. And so there I am in like March of that year, probably at like 2 or 3 a.m. I'm a night owl. That's when I do my writing. So I was sitting there working on it. And suddenly I just had this idea just occurred to me that I should start my own publication. And I don't know where that came from. At the time, it was like sort of like being hit over the head with an idea. I had never thought about going into business of any kind. And again, I was set on a different track. I mean, by that point, I had applied to doctoral schools and I'd applied for teaching jobs and all of this stuff. But I just had this idea and it was so strong. This, I guess, this idea and this knowledge that I had to go with it. I had to run with it. And so that's why I decided to start 71. That was the beginning of it, really. And of course, telling everyone around me was fun. They were like, wow, that's random. What happened to your other plan? So it was pretty crazy. But I just knew at the time, I mean, obviously I didn't know how it would turn out. I didn't know that the magazine would be successful or anything, but I knew that I had to do it. Yeah. And so it's been a really, really fun journey. And that's kind of basically the
It can
birthplace
be.
of my
Yeah.
current state.
Yes. And Erin, isn't it just amazing how we can totally change the direction we're going to go and find our passion in something else? Myself, I went to college to be an accountant. I had it all figured out.
Oh,
And
okay.
after graduating, I'd been working in a restaurant, but I fell in love with working in a restaurant and became a restaurant owner and was there 27 years. I mean,
Great.
find our passion in times we don't even think we're in, we will, or we're even looking for something different. I just love that you did that. So what would you say about the topic of following your passion? What's that mean to you, Erin?
I think it's super important for anyone, but I would say probably especially for people who are creative or just really independent, like entrepreneurs as well. Um, I think it was Steve Jobs said something very, very good that I love about you either work on your dream or you work on someone else's dream. If you're just working in a job like I was, and like so many people are probably, that you don't like or that you're just not happy with, you do have the power to change that. And if there's something that you really love doing, go for it. Absolutely. I tell my students all the time, I'll have them ask me, should I go into this? Should I, especially students in the arts, they'll ask me, is this doable? Can I make a career out of this? Is this a waste of my time? I'll hear that one and I'll just say, no, it's not a waste of your time if you love to do it. And if you love to do it, you'll find a way to do it and make it work for you. It's just a matter of, I guess, initially the most important thing, making the decision. I'm going to do this. This is my dream. I'm going to follow it. And so then obviously the next equally important step is to follow through, because if you don't get that ball rolling on your own to make your own dream happen, then people are not going to do it for you. So it's very important to be self-motivated and driven in the pursuit of it.
Yes, yes. I love that. And that's so true. A big step is making that decision. And then that next step is taking the step to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And once you're over that, really, it's just taking a new step every day, isn't it?
Yeah, baby steps. One thing that I've learned very much the hard way is to not, well, my mom calls it borrowing worries, and I think that that's a good way of putting it. Don't try to take on everything at one time, because especially being a restaurant owner yourself, and entrepreneurship, I mean, get ready for a wave of stuff, just a lot of stuff. It's everything you expect, plus a whole lot of other things that probably didn't even occur to you in the beginning. Tons of decisions, all of this. And so very much what helped me, and also my amazing core team from day one, was just taking it one day at a time and not worrying about, oh, what are we going to be doing in 5 years or even next month? I mean, just focus on what's in front of you, handle that, and then move on to the next thing. That, first of all, I think it's a much more productive way of working, prioritizing your time, but also it helps very much deal with stress, which is also really important.
Yes. And that really, it is a powerful message, Erin, for anyone that is reaching out to become an entrepreneur, or even, an executive or someone that is in control of a team. Those are great words. Some real wisdom there, Erin, because it is steps, and you do have things come that you didn't even see coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a special kind of growth being an entrepreneur. So tell us about the magazine. Tell us about 71.
Yeah, 71 is a digital arts magazine. So essentially we focus on all forms of arts. So that's fashion, music, even technology. We get into some of that, the art and science, and the science and art. Design. We love photographers. We work with photographers from all over the world. I mean, it blows my mind, some of the things they come up with. They're just so creative. So we focus on all of these arts. And really the goal is ultimately, I guess, to be, excuse me, to be inspirational. People, I believe, personally, my team believes that you should be inspired by positive messages and creativity that's just great. I mean, there's so much negativity in the world, unfortunately. There's a lot of horrible things that you can see and anytime you look at the news any day of the week. But, you know, why not focus on some of the things that humanity is doing that are absolutely amazing? And the world is amazing too. I mean, we love nature as well. So in putting all of these amazing things together, ultimately we like to think of it as a journey. Our little catchphrase is the art's less traveled. So we like to look at really cool things in new ways and also bring awareness to some of these artists from, again, all over the world who are doing the same thing and are kind of in a complementary place with us, if you will.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what we're about in terms of our content and our vision. We're digital bi-monthly publication, and we like to make it a really engaging, interactive experience for our readers. And so we'll embed video a lot of the time. There's amazing BTS with some of our photo shoots that we've done. And there's also just some, like, I think we've linked out to some TED Talks for some content that's really complementary to a photo feature or whatever the case may be. Just things like that that enhance the experience for our readers as well. And so, yeah, 71 is a passion project, not only for me, but also for my core team. I've got two amazing people who've been with me from day one, and obviously none of it would be possible without them, of course. It's very much a team effort.
Yes, yes. And I love your point, and I feel that with doing my shows. There are, you know, things happening in the world, people in low vibrations, but yet there are so many awesome people out there. Mm-hmm. And things happening, and for you to be able to share more of that as I can with my show, being able to honor you, I mean, that's a beautiful thing to be able to do, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's really a privilege for sure.
Yes. So what would you say with the 2 years you've had the publications? Share a couple of what have been your favorite topics or arts, whatever, that you've shared that really touched your heart. Do you have some favorites?
Oh, it's really hard to pick favorites. But I guess one of my favorite aspects of what we do that I really didn't touch on just now is we like to feature a lot of women and put women in a position of prominence as well. I mean, so many women, especially women behind the camera, like directors and photographers, they don't really get their due a lot of the time. And so it's really, really awesome to be able to show their work to people, and not only to show their work, but also to allow them to share their stories. So we do a whole lot of interviews, obviously, with some truly gifted people. And I'm not to say that we don't feature any men at all. I mean, I'm a firm believer that amazing work is amazing work. Mm-hmm. And it's really not important to me who is doing it, because it's like, this is amazing. We want to get in touch with you, and we want to talk to you and bring you to our readers. But yeah, so women, that's a huge thing. Also, I like to, we like to focus on, like I said, the arts and sciences. A lot of the time, these two areas are pitted against each other like different teams. Like the sciences are over here and the arts are over here, and they don't get along most of the time. But I don't quite buy into that personally, because again, there's so much of each one in the other. Science really is an art, and vice versa. So that's another aspect that I really like. Other things that are important to us are sustainability, and being green and knowledgeable about the environment and our impact on it. That's huge. And that's a big part of the reason why we are digital. Printing costs a lot of money, first of all, anyway, but also that affects the environment. Trees are dying for paper, right? So that's one of the things that we really definitely stay away from, and in efforts to not make matters worse in terms of what's going on with the planet. So we focus on that. And also animals, that's another thing. We love animals, absolutely. So we haven't actually gotten into that a whole lot in our content directly yet, but it's definitely something that is one of our really, something that's really close to our hearts. And so I don't know if that exactly answers your question, but all of that stuff really is kind of my favorite things in terms of what we do.
Yes. And, you know, I feel the same way. You know, it is hard to have some favorites because so many things can touch your heart and mean a lot to you. And it's so beautiful that you do care about so many things and share so much of that in your magazine. That is fantastic. And it, you know, it really is beautiful that you have the team you're working with and you've built this for 2 years now, and you have this beautiful future, and it must be so exciting to think what ahead do we have that we're going to be sharing. That has to be a lot of fun too.
Oh, it's definitely a lot of fun, and we've got so many stories. I mean, not, yeah, the ones we publish, but a whole lot of other stories too, of other things we've experienced. Some really, especially early on, although this has certainly been true throughout, but we had some early experiences that were just like, how did that happen? Really? Did that happen? I mean, it was crazy. So to give you a couple of specific examples on that, and this is very early days. So back in, I guess, late 2017, mind you, that's right after our first issue ever came out. We had this list of different people, fairly well-known people that were like on the wish list, right? People that we wanted to talk to and feature. So one of those is an artist named Christabel. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her. She's more commonly known as director David Lynch's muse. Is one of my favorite directors. And so she was on the list. We contacted her and she actually agreed to an interview, and she was our second ever cover star. And that's one person from the wish list that we got to feature. Not only that, we also set up a photo shoot with her cross country. She's located in San Francisco. And so that was just a really encouraging thing very early on. And right around the same time, a couple of weeks after that issue comes out, we go to the San Antonio Cocktail Conference, and of all people, director Steven Soderbergh is there. Turns out he has a line of liquor called Singani. And he was there, and I'm like, how is he in San Antonio? This is incredible. But we asked if we could have a word with him, and we sat down there and had drinks with him in downtown San Antonio and interviewed him. So this is early stuff that seemed very surreal at the time. And even now, as I'm talking about it, I'm like, how did that happen? For a brand new, fully independent publication, it can be a little bit hard to tell people. I mean, at that time, you're having to tell people, this is what we're about, and we have this bright future. This is all the stuff that we want to do. But a lot of people want to see the proof. They're like, I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know if this will happen. But of course, the more you keep at it, like we've done, we haven't missed an issue yet. We've always published on time ever since day one. And so in so doing, that establishes your credibility. And I think that those experiences and others like them were, they really helped get us going, both literally and also emotionally and psychologically too.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And a big part of anything that we're doing, that we're working so hard with, we really do have to have, you know, it can be difficult sometimes, but it can be done, a work-life balance. That's a big part of having a business or having a, you know, heavy workload. And would you say you've accomplished that, Erin?
That is a work in progress. I'm not sure how good at it I am yet, but I do have certain things that I do that have helped make things manageable. And I've had a whole lot of things going on. So one of the things that I think is really important is taking a little time every day. So one of the things that, I mean, I've caught myself thinking it's, I think, very common is this kind of, especially in the early days when you're maybe new in your career, you just started your business or something, it can feel in some ways like, oh, I can't take time off. I can't go on vacation. I can't do this. I can't do that. It's very defeatist thinking. And it's rational. I mean, if you have a mountain of work, it can absolutely feel like I really shouldn't walk away from this. I really should sit down and knock this out. But instead of focusing on what you can't do, I like to focus on what we can do. And what we can do is spare a few minutes at least every day. So part of my sanity routine, if you will, is just doing that. And that's part of what I said earlier about just taking a little at a time, one thing at a time, one task. And also this time to yourself, or this time to breathe, take that in small amounts as well. So then there you have it. It's doable, and you get a little every day, as opposed to just working yourself into the ground and then crashing. Because once you crash, that's it. I mean, no work's getting done if you're crashed out, right? So if you can put that off by giving yourself a little, that really helps. And so that's been completely amazing for me.
Give yourself just a little bit of happiness every day. Even if it's listening to your favorite song, or, you know, doing something you enjoy. Gosh, we have about 4 minutes left in the show. What last information do you want to leave with us, Erin?
Well, I'm excited to tell you, Paula, and also your viewers, that 71 is nominated for Magazine of the Year at the San Antonio Fashion Awards. So fun fact, we were nominated last year, and we won this honor last year in our first year of existence of publication. So that was really, really awesome. It was an excellent night. But so the way this works, since we're nominated again, is it's chosen by community vote. And I did say the San Antonio Fashion Awards, but anyone can vote from anywhere in the world. All you need to do is just go to sanantoniofashionawards.com and vote 71 Magazine for Magazine of the Year. Every vote counts, and it's amazing supporters of the arts, like I'm sure many of your readers are, that allow publications like mine, independent publications, to really flourish and keep doing what we're doing. And so voting is currently live, and it will be live through September 27th.
That is so exciting. My gosh. You know, isn't it wonderful, Erin, how one person or one group, how they can make such a big difference. You know, they can start that wave and share so many good things and be a positive energy in the world. And the fact that you are on that list really tells us that is really beautiful.
Thank you, Paula.
Gosh, yeah, it's got to be so inspiring for you. So do you see anything new coming with the magazine, or pretty much just kind of rolling the way you're going and just constantly finding new fantastic things to share? Any new projects, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Yeah, we've got some really exciting things on the horizon. So I founded 71 as a magazine, yes, but actually also as a multimedia firm, as you said previously, 71 publications. So we're going to be expanding in some really cool ways. We're also looking into, I guess, really giving back to our community in additional ways, apart from what we already do with our content and our features. But we're also going to be helping women in business in a more direct way as well, by establishing a foundation. So that's something that we're looking at probably after our voting campaign is over. That's more like 2020 for next year. But I'm really excited to get started with it, because it's sort of like a blending of my worlds. I'm still in academics, but I'm also in media. And so having seen all of these different things within business, and especially for women in business and women in media business, to be more specific. There's definitely a need to be filled there. And so we're really, really excited about that.
Yes, yes, I love that. And yes, having seen the difference from managing a restaurant to owning it, the way I was treated, there is a difference on
There is.
how people view men and female entrepreneurs. But I think, we're just growing and growing, and really, there's great women, there's great men out there doing just wonderful things. I love that. And I love that you're sharing so much of that, Erin.
Thank you so much. It's an honor. It's absolutely an honor.
Yeah. Well, I am excited to get online and give your magazine a vote. And
thank you so much. That's awesome.
This is just fantastic. Do you have any, you already shared, will you share the website one more time with everyone, please?
Yes, absolutely. It is sanantoniofashionawards.com. And once again, we're 71 Magazine, and we're nominated for Magazine of the Year.
Great. And so is that also the website they would get on to see your magazine?
To check us out, you can go to my71mag.com.
Great.
All our issues and everything.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Erin. You have been so fantastic. I'm honored to have you.
Thank you so much, Paula. It's an honor to talk with you.
Thank you. Everybody, love, hugs, and blessings. Erin, love, hugs, and blessings. Thank you so much.
Thank you.